I'm sure people would have. Hello, everyone. Apologies, we are far behind time this evening. Thank you once again for joining us on this edition of the Family Life Today show, the FLT show. We've had a lot of technical issues backstage, and that's why it has to be like this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But we are still bringing the best of the best for you. Happy New Year officially. Is nice having everyone on here. And it's my prayer that this year is going to be for great and mighty things in our lives, individually and as a family. Despite all that is going on around, you will not be drowned by the grace of God. Yeah. Thank you very much. So quickly, we'll go straight to the topic for today, which is creating structures in families. And today I have two very special guests on the show in the person of Mrs. Georgine Imoita and Pastor Steve Ayanyo. I
I'm
have
not
to
a pastor
specially
here.
request for that pronunciation. I don't murder his name. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on. It's nice having you here. I'm excited because I know what you're doing out there for families, for couples generally. And so it's a great honor having you on here this evening. Thank you very much once again. Yeah. So they say ladies first after men, but we'll go the other way. So I'm going to introduce Mrs.
Thank you for
Dojin
having us.
Imoita. She's a certified family life professional. She
Thank you.
works within the family sphere and offers premarital and postmarital coaching services where she guides couples to start off on a solid foundation or guide the already established foundation towards upgrade. She does this using coaching, counseling, and strategy interventions. As an associate master's practitioner of the family systems engineering, she installs effective systems and structure in families towards peace and progress. She has additional certifications in level one neuro linguistics programming and level one life coaching. She has a science-based background in microbiology and to the Masters of Science level. However, her passion to save marriages from the cradle led her to being a coach who guides individuals, couples towards peace, progress, harmony within themselves and with others. She is happily married with 3 children and she hails from Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, where she resides. So we're having her live from Akwa Ibom, Nigeria. Let's make welcome Mrs. Georgine. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And
Thank
also,
you for
and
having
now
me.
to Pastor Steve Ayanyo. He's a family life practitioner and a certified emotional and intelligence coach with a certificate in NLP, that's neuro linguistic programming, right? Yeah. He's passionate about self development, improvement, and discovery. His major interest in family life is premarital and postmarital family development. His conviction is that self awareness is the foundation to making a great home. Thank you very much for coming on. Please join me to welcome them once
Thank you.
again. It's
I
nice
appreciate.
having you on here. Thank you. Please, we'll have to make do with
Thank
him
you.
not being able to come on with his video. So I'm sure we'll enjoy all the things we'll have to hear from him as well. Yeah, thank you very much. So quickly, our time is fast spent. We should be rounding up at this time normally. Yeah, but for the way technology, the route it took us today. Okay, so what are structures and systems? Yeah. Madam Georgine?
So which one of okay. Good evening, everyone. Coach, I'm so grateful
Good
to be here. Thanks
evening.
for having me. Thanks for everyone who's listening in. I hope you can all hear me clearly. So let's jump into it. So for structures and systems. So now structures are actually like distinct elements, right, that are organized in a specific way. Those are structures. And then systems are now actually the collection of structures. A system is something that is used to achieve a common goal, to achieve a common purpose. And I usually like to use something like the solar system. The solar system is a system, and the structure in the solar system are the sun, the moon, the comets, etc.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much. So succinct. Thank you. So a system is a collection of structures. So that means we need uh, lots of structures in the family to make up a working system. That's nice. That's so on point. Okay, so
Yes.
there's this common stuff we hear from somebody I know, PF person, where most of the time it's always like, okay, uh, the family is the most important nation on earth. Why is it so? Why? Why is it so? Why is the family the most important nation on earth? Pastor Steve, can you help us
Okay,
take
is that
that
for me or
on?
for?
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate. I'm sorry that my video
Yes.
is not. My laptop is messing me up, and I'm a bit confused here. So let me
No,
just go right
no
on
worries at all.
to answering. You know, for those of us who, okay, I'm not a pastor here. Actually, I'm a coach. So please, let's correct that.
Okay, okay. Coach
All right,
Steve. Okay.
all right. So for those of us who have understanding, even every belief starts with a couple, and so you find out that the old generation of Earth started with a man and a woman reproducing themselves. So that is the core of human creation. And every city, every town that you heard about today, most of the time started with a man and a woman. So you find out that eventually in every environment, the family is the bedrock of the society. The family is what form. Whenever you talk about a nation, you're actually talking about a collection of families gathered within a certain, location. And so, if indeed that is true, and it is, then the family is the most important nation on earth, because family creates environment. Family determines wherever you are, whatever you are saying, whatever people you are looking at, they all reflect the family. And so family is the core of everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, a system is a collection of structures, and a nation also is a collection of families. It's making sense gradually. Thank you. So, why do we need structures and systems in our families? Coach Jojin, can you help us shed light on that? Why do we need
Okay.
structures and systems in our
So
families?
the reason we need to have systems and structures in our thanks for the question, right? Why we need to have systems and structures in a family is that it's going to help us to have that foundation where we can build on. That is where we're going to have the ability to preserve our values. That's when we're going to be able to expatiate on the culture that the children should have. That is where you're going to express the uniqueness of your lineage, and it's in that building of structure that you're going to teach your family how to communicate healthily, how to understand how to effectively communicate and to avoid conflicts. Because whether you like it or yes, if you do not have these responsibilities and the roles that each person needs to play, adaptability, transparency, and all of that, then they might not be able to survive in the outside world. And if every family were to put in all this structure and system in place, then we're definitely going to have a society that is more orderly, that understands what is expected of them and what is not expected, how to avoid chaos and how to avoid crime and how to avoid all kinds of misunderstanding. So it's very important to put in these structures and systems in place in our families.
Thank you very much. For order, for order, for order. That's just a key word for me. For
Yes,
order. Everybody wants
exactly.
order in their lives, but most of the time we don't know how to go about it. And so, that's going up and down to get order, trying everything within our means, most times is what people keep doing, and they are still not able to achieve the order that is required for a working family. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so what is common to all the richest countries in the world? What exactly do they have in common? What makes them work? Can Coach Steve help us attend to that?
That's the simplest question from what we have been discussing so far, right? They have systems and they have structures. Everything is organized within the specific intent that they have, and they've set up the system in such a way that they can always get that desired outcome. And they have structures to make sure that what they have in place will keep, I mean, putting the system to working, and so they're having the same result. So what they have is that they have working system and structure that is intentional towards their expectation and is working for them. And so the result is what we see in them looking so organized and prim and sharp, because everybody
Okay.
have been systematically programmed to carry out that intended system and structure to bring out the desired outcome. That's what's peculiar about them.
Mm, thank you very much. Thank you. So, systems also brings about organization, and we know organization and order, they are closely related. So, it's important for organization. It's important for order, and all this gives us peace of mind because everybody knows what to do as at when due without being pushed around. For a lot of people that want to stop shouting, system is one thing that can help that. Thank you very much, organization.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's also this saying that systems aren't emotional. Coach Georgine, can you help us expatiate on that? I feel, uh, systems should have a bit of
Yes. Okay. Thank
empathy
you for that.
such that,
Thank you for that.
when somebody is sick, the system will look away, and it's not like saying it should be mean, kind of, but they should. It's yeah. I think you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I
maybe
do.
maybe
Well, I think
how do I
the
explain it
reason.
now? Okay, you can go on.
No, it's okay. I think I got you. I got you. So when you say systems are not emotional, you see, first of all, when we look back at the definition of a system, right, it's more or less the interaction within the structures to get a common goal. Now, a system is designed to get a specific goal through the consistent repetitions of rules and procedures. And when you consistently do what you need to do, you'll get a result. It works with facts and it works with data. So if you're not inventing the facts and data to the letter, it's likely that you're not going to get the final result that you need. So if I'm going to use an example, let's say you want to lose 5 kg in 2 months. Definitely there's a system around losing weight. You're going to program certain things you're going to do, from the food you're eating to the time you're doing your workout, etc. Right? Now it now happens that on a particular morning you woke up, it's raining. You refuse to improvise and decide, okay, let's work out in the house. You decide, okay, I'm not feeling too well. Your emotion sets in. You don't work out that day. Then another day, you went to hang out with your friends about 9 p.m. in the night, and the system says you shouldn't eat after 5 p.m. But because you're hanging out with your friends and the smell of the food, emotion setting, cravings, you eat. At the end of the 2 months, you're definitely not going to lose that 5 kg because you're not following the steps that it takes to get there. So at the end of the day, I say we're emotional beings, definitely. And at the end of the day, your
Yeah.
system can only be successful by the direct proportion to the emotions in which you attach to the deployment of the system. Let me take it again.
Mm.
The success of a system is directly proportional to the emotional attachment during the deployment of the system. So once
Wow.
emotions are involved, then the likelihood of the system being followed to the letter will actually give you the 100% that you want. So as human beings, we really need to now know how many percentage are we going to put into this system that we put in place to get the desired result. So I think that is why it said that systems are not emotional.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Once
Thank
you
you.
deduct, it's just like, we say 2 plus 2 equals 4. If you want 4,
Let me
no,
add it.
okay, okay,
So
okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Coach C?
right. So I
Okay.
believe that. Thank you, Coach Georgine. That's very beautiful. I also believe that part of the reason why system is not emotional. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Are you hearing
Yes,
me?
we can
Yes,
hear
yes,
you.
we can hear you clearly.
Okay. All right. So I also believe that one of the reasons why uh, system is not emotional. All right. So I'm going ahead. So I believe one of the reasons also why system is not emotional is because
Hello. 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 I guess we lost him there. Hello, Coach Steve. Okay, what I was about saying then is just to buttress what Coach Jojit said is okay, everybody knows that 2 plus 2 gives us 4. The result you need is 4. There's no emotion to it. Trying to remove 1 from the second 2 will never add up to 4. Sentiments apart. So that's why systems are not emotional. Systems are straightforward. Thank you very much for that, Coach Georgine. Systems are straightforward. It's just
Thank you,
if
ma'am.
you have 2 plus you get 4. If you now remove 1 from the second 2, that okay, let me no, I don't want to. Let me, if it's something to eat, let me eat this. And you can never get 4. It's
Yeah,
simple. Straightforward. Thank you very much. I
it
think
takes a
we
longer
lost
time to get there.
Coach Steve. He will join us in the course of
Okay.
the discussions. Okay, so what are the generational effects of creating structures and systems in our families? Has a premarital coach, as the singles
Okay.
coach, and all that, and as a family life
Yeah.
practitioner
Okay. So
generally.
so let me take it from the singles and the premarital section. Maybe Pastor Steve can throw more light in terms of the marital section. So in terms of the premarital couple or people who are single, there are certain systems you need to put in place, which will, first of all, as an individual and as a couple, you need to understand what it takes to effectively communicate. Effective communication is a system you need to put in place both as a single person and and somebody who's about to get married. Another system you need to put in place is your financial state. What are the finances you're bringing into this union, or what finances do you have yourself as a single person who intends to get married? What are your roles? What are your expectations of the relationship? Even as a single person, you want to get married, you need to define what role you're intending to play in your home. As a premarital couple, you need to define what roles will you be playing, which roles will overshadow the other or interlap, or which ones will be exchangeable. How do you plan to handle conflicts? What are conflict resolutional styles? You need to know these things, because if you don't understand how you're going to resolve conflicts when you're ever entered, when you get in there, you're just going to be doing that on autopilot, because you don't know what makes this one angry, you don't know how this one wants to be apologized to, you don't know what can trigger this that one. Another thing you need to have in place is what decisions are you making about in-laws? Can they come and stay? Go and stay with them for weeks on end? What are the what system are you putting around future planning when it concerns the education? Are you planning to upgrade, go to school again? Are you planning to have children? How many do you want to have? Are you planning to relocate at some point in time? Is it something that both of you are on the same page? And as a single person, what is your emotional intelligence system like? How well do you regulate your emotion? How well do you understand your emotion? What is your medical history? What do you know about your lineage when it comes to medical history? About yourself, your genotype, and the rest? What goals do you have? So, I mean, as a single person, a premarital couple, you don't have any excuse not to have systems set up before you even get in there. And even when you now get into the marriage, you need to also have systems around your communication, your problem solving ability, you know what is the stability in the home, what are the how do you plan to manage resources? Are you going to be the kind of family that is only when you're about to brush your teeth that you realize that toothpaste has finished? You know, calling, please go and buy me one tube toothpaste. So I mean, there are so many systems and structures that should be looked into. And this, of course, stems down generation to generation because you're teaching your children how to handle different areas of their lives. And that, of course, they will teach theirs, etc., etc. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the one thing with developed nations as well. They have these things, written down and handed over from generation to generation. That was in depth. Thank you very much. Okay, so for people who are married already, is it the same stuff you've listed, or is there any difference? What are the things they need to put in place in families?
Well, of course, the decision around, when it comes to families, there are various areas and that they need to set up systems in terms of the education of the children, in terms of their intimate life, in terms of their career. So every section should have some structure, some kind of order, so that when it's being repeated over and it gets to a point where they know that when this happens. Or even when it comes to chores for your children, age appropriate chores that each child knows at this age, this is what they're going to do. This child knows that this is what expected of him. And all things help out in the society so that they can adapt, because definitely life throws things at you. So if your family can be that support, and that family has to be that cover that teaches you all the things you need to know, that when you're out there, you can implement them, survive, and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Coach Steve will soon join us, hopefully. Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's
So,
okay.
um, what knowledge base is required to build family structures and systems? And we're supposed to be the custodian of this knowledge base.
Okay, so
Welcome
Coach
back,
Steve is going
Coach
to
Steve.
take on that one.
Thank you. I'm sorry for
Oh,
all this.
okay, so no, we understand. Okay, so would you mind continuing from
Can we
where you stopped
can we
the
hear it,
last
or should
time?
I proceed?
I can hear you
Okay,
very well. Okay,
okay.
Is he
that's I
with
should
us,
take
or
it
should I
back
continue?
to my.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. Can you? I hope you can hear me very well.
Yes, very well, clearly.
Okay, you want to speak about the
Yes.
we've passed that already. The emotion. I mean, sorry, systems are not emotional.
Yes, you can still give us your perspective.
All right. I just wanted to add to the fact that I just thought about it to saying that when a system is in place, it doesn't matter where you take it to, it will yield the same result. So it's not about the location, it's about that system workable, and it's about the programming of the mind in terms of what we are talking about as it relates to family. And so, it's not about your state of mind. And I like the example Coach Joji was giving about exercise. And because I do exercise, and sometimes I don't feel like, but I found out that I'm beginning to be programmed. Unlike before, it was always easy for me to jettison my exercise. But right in the same time, I found out when I don't even feel like, in a jiffy, I'm already dressed for the exercise. So I'm beginning to realize that something in me is programming me to the point that it's not about how I feel anymore. It's about what I must do. And so that's what I wanted to add to
The,
it.
the goal in view and the
Yes,
results.
yes. And
That's a
as
good
per
thing.
the things to put in place as it relates to all that Coach Joji said for this about to get married is for the marriage. Actually, we should have all these set in place before marriage. That's because it's the issue of the system and structure that is not in place. That's the reason why most of us, we got married because it is required that you should get married at a certain age. And they told us that it's in marriage that you start learning and you start knowing what to do. Whereas understanding system and structure is they are setting you up
Getting
so
married.
to what your marriage will be. That's why we are here. All right. That wrong notion. Just thinking, oh, this is
Exactly.
for this.
Exactly.
No, is this what we should have done? So really, in actual fact, all that Coach Jodin said should have been what all of us should
Yeah.
have gone through before getting married.
Mm.
But it's because we didn't know about it that a lot of us are not getting to be taught this in marriage.
Okay. So for the married couples, what can they do at this point?
Oh, very simple. One, you must first change your thinking. To thinking that marriage is divine, God just works it out. All right. You find out that it's what you put into marriage that you get out of it. There's a principle on life.
That you
It's
get out
what
of
you
it.
put into life that
Yes.
you get out of it. So to thinking that you just wish it won't work. In fact, to pray means that you are asking for counsel and instruction in how to deal, right? And so when you pray, it's not that you pray and close your eyes and say, okay, now I've prayed, God do it. No, you are praying to get instruction. You are praying to get things to know what to do and how to deal. And the fact of the matter, like I used to give an example, there's this book about love language written by somebody who had been he wrote that book when he had been 40 years in relationship, all right, being a relationship coach. And so he wrote about love language. Beautiful. Now, truth of the matter is, I can get that same instruction about the long language of my husband if I go and pray, or my wife. But why do I
Oh.
need to pray when the book is already available?
Mm.
So why don't I just discover? So that's why we are here. That's what we need to do. We need to come to that place to understanding that beyond the prayer, because I know many people love to pray, is that there are some air of intentionality, there's some understanding you need to have. And when you put all this in place and set structure and system in your home, you will get desired result. It doesn't matter. Sorry, like I said, I'm not a pastor, I'm a coach. It doesn't matter if you don't pray as much, but you follow the structure and the system that you put in place. That is the reality of life. So playing the ostrich doesn't help anybody and it won't help anybody. That's why we are here to bring it to the fore. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, Coach Jojin,
Thank
would you
you.
mind going on with the question I asked previously?
Okay, I saw that, Pastor Steve.
Okay, okay, okay. Pastor Steve can help us
Okay.
as well.
The
What
knowledge
Okay.
knowledge
base,
base
right?
is required to build family structures and systems? And who is supposed to be the custodian of this?
Okay. The knowledge base that's required is what we are actually preparing to bring to fore in teaching families about systems and structures, whereby the various facets of the family are brought to the place of uncomprehension, understanding, and appreciation peculiar to the families concerned, and they see how they can juggle all together in their individual home to make a difference. So you want to know about your finance, you want to know about your health, you want to know about your maybe sport, you know, uh the
Education?
education, and every facet of the home. You intentionally package each of these one as it relate to your home, what you desire, what you want make happen. Then you start, collectively agreeing to make it happen. Custodian is the husband and the wife, and when the children are mature enough, they are part of the system to make it work. It is everybody's responsibility.
So it's everybody's, yeah, responsibility. Does it need to be documented? And
That's why it's a system and structure, so that it's not
okay,
just
something that will just be in the head.
you understand that principle. I mean, whatever.
And we do today and
Yes, no,
leave
no,
it out
it's
tomorrow.
not. Eventually, it will be in the head. Really, eventually, it will be in the head, but it has to start being written down so there can be references. Where what is through repetition most times
And
that whatever we
replicable.
are learning get established. Repetition and practice, repetition and practice, and of course, at the beginning we are going to miss out on something, so you should be able to refer. And once it is documented, it has become something that can be carried out in a generation, because now we are passing to our family and they can now, I mean, to our coming generation, and they can now, make adjustment as it suit them, to make it work. But the
Replicate it.
documentation is what gets us to be involved and be intentionally programmed into all that we have intended to do as a family.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, our time is fast spent, but
Yeah.
we'll quickly look at a few more stuffs. What do we stand to lose if we do not set up appropriate structures in our families? Or what opportunities do we risk not harnessing as a family when we don't have structures and systems in place? Coach Jordan, Coach
Okay.
Steve,
That's for me.
who would like to go first? Okay, Coach Jordan.
Okay, what I would say would stand to lose is that there's not going to be much stability in that home. There might not be much order. There might not be clear lines of communication. It's likely that there might not be this sense of accountability. I know accountability is very important when if you want to be successful, and that's one of the things that these biggest countries have in common. They have high level of transparency and accountability, at least to a high degree. Forward, it trumps those who do not want to follow the system. Another thing that they would lose is not being able to manage their time and their resources, because when you have systems in place, you know when. But when you're not able to manage your time and resources, you tend to just live life on autopilot, miss out on important things that you should have been doing. So, what you'd fail to harness is that ability to be self reliant, ability to have that accountability, ability to integrate in the society. If you don't have system and structure in your home, you might not be that successful because you do not have a template which you're using to guide you per time. Being able to manage yourself, being able to manage your time. So those are the issues. So I was saying stability, predictability, having clear lines of communication, being able to adapt, having developing structure in place. You will not have resilience in crisis. You have a lot of chaos. Emotional intelligence will be lacking, inability to communicate effectively, where you're able to express yourself and also able to listen to other people. So
Thank you
that's
very much.
why I
Thank you
believe
very much.
you
Simply
need to
put,
have structure
everything
and
will
system.
just be haywire. Yeah. And
Mm.
for quite a lot of us, that's how we grew up. Must we continue that way? Why not change the course of things for generations to come? And it starts from our families. Thank you. Thank you for that, Coach Jojin. You did justice to it. So, Coach Steve, there's a question in here. It says, what happens when one finds him or herself in a situation where the other party works against appropriate structures? Coach Steve?
Well, um, it's clear. If indeed the structure was a collective work, then it's to be strange that such a person should be sabotaging what he intended to make right. And so what happened is, even in the formation of the structure and the system, there should have been in place where maybe punishments or fines or wanting something put in place as a guide to preventing anyone from sabotaging what is already set in place. Now, if that is already in place, then it means that if for any reason one of the parties trying to sabotage what is written down, then we will refer back to the document. What would you do if somebody is sabotaging? It will be dealt with, except we are trying to do above the law. And when it comes to system and structure, there is nobody above the law. You must make it work. That's what it's about.
Mm, mm. It's a serious matter. So we need police also in our
There should be
we need a policing system.
there should be boundaries. Yes, and
Yeah.
everybody should be bound by the system.
Okay,
That's
and
why it's a
another
system.
perspective to this question is what of if the other person doesn't did not even contribute to setting up the structure, or there was just assumption. Marriages, most times couples work in assumption. Do you understand? Just believe
Well,
this is
that's why
what
we are
is right.
here.
The other person should be able to. So do you
That
know
that
there was no clear cut communication like that.
mm,
So what should this particular party do in that kind of situation?
So they have to go back to the basis, right?
What of if the other party is
Yeah.
unwilling?
Well, we often say that one person cannot make marriage work. That is the reality. It is marriage in itself is a coming together of two people. And so if it's not willing, not one person is not willing to be part of the system or to make it work, then there's an issue. Because that means that is, I mean, we already set the system to fail. Because in the first instance, one person cannot determine how we should all, live, since others person input is not in the program. And if his input is not in the program, then something may not be binding on him or her. I know that in our culture here, we are going to have to deal with the issue of, you know, of some of our beliefs that have become, the hindering factor to our being now. I remember that the other time we had a free program, one of my mentee chatted me as relating to this. Her husband was not willing to go along. So what do we do? I just ask her to do what she has to do and bring it back to the table, because there's no way any system that has to do a family will work if it's only one person trying to make it work. It's going to be a lot of effort, and that means you are going to have to second guess the other person concerned, even though we can stage manage with having with an idea of, what the person may want to do, may bring to the table, and to put some things together. But there's no way it's going to be bound by, or she's going to be bound by what she's not part of. It just will not work, right?
Mm.
And this is where we have to come to the table to addressing the issues. I mean, some basic question we have to be asked: are you happy where we are at now? What do you think we can make things better? And let's come together and talk. The various aspects to talk about are things that are peculiar to the family. So it's not that you are trying to build something out of the home. It's within the home, and it's for the home. And so I think any reasonable and rational person, after all the IGG, initial gra, we should come to the table and say, okay, let's get things done.
Hmm. Thank you
Eventually,
very
or
much, Coach.
he will see the things failing, and he will try to adjust like we normally do as men when it comes to men. And
Thank you very much, Kosti. Do you have anything to add to this, Coach Jojin? Because to me, it looks like a situation that is out of this person's control. Yeah. So, do you have anything to add to it, Coach Jojin?
Well,
Hello?
personally, I always tell people that you can't control another. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello? You can
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Okay, what I tell people another person, person's reality, right? The person can imagine, yes, can imagine how frustrating it can be trying to do all the work and the other person is not on the same page. So instead of you getting all riled up and angry and frustrated, I would say create the structure and the system to the best of your ability for you and your children. Start implementing it bit by bit. And hopefully, when he comes to see, or if she comes to see some kind of improvement, it touches the person to want to know more about what are you doing that's making this work this way. It's only that's going to take you longer to get there. But then you can't wait and say, I'm going to bring him to the table when he doesn't want to be there at that table. So you just have to move on. So you really can't control another person's actions. You don't know his reality or her reality. You don't know what trauma the person may be facing or what they're going through. Because there are people who have beliefs that they can never bow down and they can never mellow to. So do what you can and see how much you can get your children on that page of path to know that, okay, this is what we need to do, and give them reasons why they need to do it. Because of the story, you'll be out of the house and you face these challenges, this and this can help you. If it's both of you doing it together, it will take a shorter period of time. But just you doing it will take much longer because each time the other partner might be sabotaging it. But you have to consistently be in touch with your children to communicate with them consistent. Okay, but daddy doesn't do it now, or mommy doesn't do it now. So I understand. Mommy is not in the frame of mind to do it at this point in time. We're just going to have to and let him see so that he should join us. That's what I think.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And last one, Coach Steve, to put structures and systems in place in families, where can or should people start from? Is it from the high end,
Thank you very much.
Does it have to be
This
complicated?
No, it doesn't have to be complicated, but really to get this thing done and to be able to even start at all, you need a coach. You need somebody who will help you to put things together so that it can work. That's why you are here. That's why you are doing this program. And that's why we have Family Life Engineering System, whereby we have coaches who can help whoever is interested to get this together so that it can be implemented. It is not difficult, but you see, you can't start from the unknown. You can't start from what you don't know anything about. So you need people who know how to help you, to guide you, to walk with you on this journey to make it a reality. And we have to come to terms to accepting. One of the greatest hindrance to somebody's progress is when you are too proud to accept that you don't know everything, and when you are too proud to seek help from others. So this is it. As many people as are listening to me today, you need a coach. You need someone to help you to get this thing founded so they can build on it. Because I can tell you what to do and how to start. You are going to give up at the end. But when you meet a coach that will be able to set you on the pace, you'll be surprised. And just like there's a reference Coach Georgie made some just now as relate to somebody's state of mind that might be their inhibition. So it's journeying to making a structure and a system. This is part of what this coach will help you do. This is what he will help you solve. And once you are able to discover, and that's one of the things we do, discover your true identity, then it's so easy for you to come together to make things work. I think that's what I would like to say. You need a coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been an exciting section today. Thank you very much. If you need coaches to help you start up your journey of creating order, creating organization, by creating structures and systems in your family that will transcend generations, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to Coach Georgine. These her contact here. Coach Steve, please help us drop your contact. Yeah. So you can always reach out to us. And also we have an upcoming class as well to create. We had one previously, I think it was November. And so if you would love to be part of the forthcoming one, you can reach out to me or reach out to any one of us also. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's nice having everyone on here this evening. Coach Steve, Coach Jean, Dojin, you guys did justice.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. It's nice having you on
Thank you
here.
so
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you very much. And to our viewers, I want to apologize again for the delay we had earlier. Thank you for staying on. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. I love you. Have an amazing weekend, and please reach out to us, yeah, to help out with creating structures and order and organization in your families to bring about that dream, that family that you see, that dream. It says, as far as your eyes can see, yeah, that desired end result
Thank you.
that you want from your family. Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening
Thank
and a
you.
Thank you
lovely
very much.
weekend.
Coach Ife,
Thank
I
you to
appreciate you.
our
Coach
guests.
Thank you.
Eugene,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you as usual.
Thank you,
Good
Coach.
night to you all.
All
Thank you
Have a
very
right.
blessed
much.
night.
Lovely
Thanks,
Have a
Coach
night,
T.
wonderful
friends.
night.
Thank
Good
you
night.
much
Bye.
more. Thank
Good
you. Good to
night.
see you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.